Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Disgruntled Yid on here on YouTube. I'm your host, Moshe, aka The Disgruntled Yid. I didn't have much of a theme picked out for this week, so I'm kind of just gonna sort of just freeball it. Hey buddy. Anyway, oh, hello. So, I guess there's two things, primarily that, I think are worth talking about. You know, for so long, so many people had this idea, that we can go into places, right? And we can get rid of the bad guys, and then we can help out the good guys, and everything will be great. And it's interesting because it's happened so many times now. Like what happened with excuse me. Like what happened with Vietnam, you know? We went in there to get rid of the Viet Cong, and we didn't, and then we left. Then we had the war in Iraq and Afghanistan, which took forever. I mean, we didn't think those were. We didn't think those wars would ever end. It felt like they were just going to go on forever. I mean, 10 plus years? Jeez. And, well, we didn't go into Afghanistan with the intent of, I might be wrong about this. I don't think we went in there with the intent specifically to overthrow the Taliban per se. I think we just wanted to go in there and get bin Laden and whoever else, and basically, I guess, wipe out Al Qaeda, essentially. So then what happened? Then we left, and in almost no time, just like that, all that effort, all those years, all that money, all those lives lost, everything, billions of dollars, years, time, industry, effort, like all kinds of stuff went into that war. And then we left, and like it seems like not even a month. Maybe it was a little longer, a little shorter, but within a very short time, the Taliban were back. They were back. And I don't mean back like still around. They were in power again. They came back into power. After all that, and then in less than a month, give or take a little bit at that time, that's it. All that hard work just gone. Then there was the issue with Iraq, which we all know, that whole thing was basically a lie from the beginning. The whole thing that they had nukes, or were developing nukes or biochemical weapons or whatever it was. And so we went in there and we got rid of. It's like we seem to be very good at going into places and taking out the leaders, or at least maybe if not completely, at least mostly, taking out the leaders pretty quickly, give or take. An incident, an example or two, because it did take us a while to find bin Laden and Saddam. But we did topple Saddam, and we toppled the Taliban, and then they were back. You know, I mean, you see that there's this like pattern of we're gonna go in there, we're gonna kick some ass, and we're gonna liberate those people. Like in that episode of American Dad, where they're about to be killed, and Stan has like a weird, weird dream, like before his death, that they're about to be stoned, but then these American jets fly over, and these soldiers are throwing beer and Bibles out of helicopters, and the women are like throwing off their hijabs, and like they have like huge tits, and and it's like, and I think Stan goes, ah, yes, we finally brought democracy to Saudi Arabia. And then you find out it was just a dream of his, and they really were actually about to get killed. But like that's kind of, or like I saw this thing, this like little baby Trump AI. I'm sure if anybody's online, you must have seen it. Um, and there's one with him talking about Iran, and he goes, we're getting rid of the regime. From now on, it's gonna be nothing but flowing margaritas and hot mamacitas. He's like, he says, and you can vote for whoever you want because, no, he said, and from now on, you can vote for whoever you want as long as they're Republican. And he goes, that's not a threat. I'm only saying that, I'm not saying you're not allowed to vote for the Democrats. I'm just saying you can't because they're literally not here. This is so stupid. so so stupid. But then with Israel, regarding Israel, it was the same sort of thing with the war in Gaza. The whole point, we said, was to topple Hamas and free the people of Gaza essentially from Hamas, and get the bad guys responsible for October 7th. More than that, to destroy Hamas. I mean, basically the thing we went in on, or like the Israel went in on, is that we're gonna completely eradicate Hamas, that we're gonna stomp every last one of them out. And I was all about that. I think most people that are not crazy anti-Zionist or whatever, we're in support of that. I mean, these people are evil. They're terrorists. They're murderers. Like, who gives a shit about them? And I'm not saying the Palestinians themselves. I'm saying Hamas. But to be honest, the Palestinians don't really help to deflect that image, because even though we keep talking about Hamas and the Palestinians, Hamas are the Palestinians. They did a report, or what's it called? I guess a census. I guess they did a poll, a poll. They did a poll in the West Bank. The West Bank, which Judea and Samaria, which people keep saying, oh, that's not Hamas, that's Fatah. They're moderates. They'll work with us, which is obviously not true for several reasons. But then the war just kept going on in Gaza, just kept going on and on and on. Eventually, I was like, because they kept saying there was all these major victories. So at a certain point, it was like, aren't we done yet? Like, why is this taking this long? And I mean, we knew it was going to be a long war, but jeez. And also, I was thinking, what is there left to do? They keep saying, if we get Hamas in this city, they're finished for good. And then we would go, we'd do that, and then there was more fighting, or there was another reason um, to keep fighting and trying to get Hamas and destroy them. Now, in regards to this this Iran deal, um, it's funny because Trump actually mocked Obama for his Iran deal, and now Trump is doing it. I mean, are we really that surprised that Trump did did something the opposite of what he said, or that he's a liar? Of course, we already knew that. Unless you're like super hardcore MAGA and you're like, you're like, Trump is practically the second coming. You would realize and acknowledge he's not the best person for sure. That's an understatement. But he's like, he's done. He's cooked. I mean, he doesn't have another term anyway, hopefully. But I can't believe, this is the same guy. Remember when they asked Biden about what he would do with the threat of Iran getting nukes, and he goes, don't. And then they go to, they have a clip of them asking Kamala Harris what she would do, and she said the thing, don't, or stop, or whatever. Then they go to Trump, and his reaction is, I'm gonna bomb the shit out of them. I don't care. That was epic. Now, whether it was epic awesome or epic stupid, that's for you to decide. But people really, I don't know. It's like, it's weird. He has this whole thing now with well, not now, but like all these people, that can't get are not gonna be able to get their SNAP food benefits, you know, like, I forget what they said, like, maybe 2-3 million people have been kicked off SNAP. I lost my SNAP. I had it, I lost it. It was, it's like, it's not even that they give you much, but unless you're really making a lot of money, in which case then they won't give it to you because you won't need it. Yeah, I'm just thinking like about, I don't know. I kind of feel like Trump essentially betrayed Israel, with this whole Iran deal. And by the way, speaking of Hamas from earlier, they're still there. They're not gone. They're still there. I did see something recently. Apparently, people are furious, Palestinians, with Hamas, and they're out there protesting against them and all that, which that already happened once before, and then nothing happened after that. Remember, there was all these people, and they were like, Hamas has ruined our lives, death to Hamas, right? And then, what happened? Nothing. Like death to Hamas. Maybe not so much. I mean, what? But what I'm getting at here is there's like a pattern. Like, there's a pattern of this. Now, I'm not saying it's intentional. Of course it's not intentional. Like, nobody would intentionally do something stupid. Or, well, okay. I shouldn't say no one. But we keep doing the same thing. America, and I guess Israel to a lesser extent. There's always this thing about, we're going to go in there and we're going to kick some ass. And then it doesn't happen. And even if we do get the bad guy, like with Saddam, they'll just put somebody else in charge who's a piece of shit. I mean, it doesn't help, you know. People think if you get the main bad guy, the whole thing will crumble. But no, it's not how it works. It's not at all how it works. Like, one of the reasons Al-Qaeda, oh, and by the way, Al-Qaeda still, some fucking hell, still exists. Even ISIS still exists. ISIS. The dude, the leader who Trump bragged about killing. Remember that? When they compared the, on Jimmy Kimmel, what was it? Oh, shit. What was that about? Huh. Yeah, that was weird. Oh yeah, that's what it was. So I remember. They were comparing Obama's address to the nation after the death of Bin Laden with Trump's after the death of the ISIS leader. And you see Obama was all like, you know, poise and, you know, dignified and all that. He was like, I am proud to say that as of whatever time he said, or whatever time it was, that as of now, I can officially confirm that Osama bin Laden has been killed. Osama bin Laden is dead. And the entire country went, woo, yeah! You know? And oh yeah, but I was talking about the comparison. He says that, Obama says that. Then they go to Trump on his thing with killing the ISIS leader. Trump he just goes, he died like a dog. And then he's like, you know, one time, I think I had a dog. It was a beautiful dog. He's just so weird, you know. Now, I know a lot of people might think I'm a Trump person, like a MAGA dude or whatever. I'm not. Not at all. And I never have been. There was a time I was like really into Trump for some strange reasons years ago. And even then I was like, yeah, MAGA, that's stupid. You know what I really hate? It's not the worst thing. It's probably the least of the bad things, but those fucking hats. Those hat and a suit. What are we doing? Which reminds me, I love the Tucker Carlson impersonation on SNL. Oh my god, if you guys haven't seen it, go to look up SNL and yeah, go to look up Weekend Update with Tucker Carlson. It's hilarious. He's like, like, I'll give you a little taste. He says, what was it? He said, oh yeah. So he's talking about this movie Hamlet. He's like, Hamlet. It's a new movie because we're not allowed to say Hamlet anymore. And then he goes, what are we doing? What's going on? I love that. I freaking love that. I've never liked Tucker. Like, I never liked him at all. Um, but like as I say, I like to give credit where credit is due. So I was happy, with the way things were going in the war in Gaza and all that. But they're gone. Hamas isn't gone. They're still there. Like, now, yes, the IDF is controlling huge, if not the majority, portions of Gaza, but that's not what the whole thing was. Like, we went so hard on Hamas, right? Even to the point of, demanding the no ceasefire until the very last hostage, even who was dead, be returned. So we did all that, right? And people are saying, we have to wait till the hostages are free and safe, because so we won't wind up hurting them, so we can then really give it to Hamas. Like, that's, that was, but it seems like, but that's not what fucking happened, because they're still there. It's just, it's very upsetting, it's very disappointing. It's only just recently I even noticed this whole pattern. It's crazy. With regard to this Iran deal, I can't remember the specifics off the top of my head, but it's bad. It's pretty bad. One of them is giving $300 billion to the regime. Why? What? Now let me quote the fake Tucker guy. What are we doing? What's going on? What, I mean, should we really be surprised that Trump did something backhanded and dishonest? That's practically his middle name. Dishonest. Donald. Whatever. You know what I'm saying. But, like, some people are saying, basically, Trump, stopped too soon, before the job could get done completely, yada yada. But remember the mistake we made, in Iraq? They're going to greet us with open arms and cheer as we free them. And then ISIS in Iraq. So that certainly didn't pan out, did it? And now, it's just, it's like, people are saying, like, Trump basically betrayed Israel. And it's hard as it kind of is to admit it, like, it's true. And it's not hard to admit because it's like, Trump is so great, he would never do that. No, it's not surprising, but I don't know, it's disappointing, and it just makes no sense. Imagine if we would have, stopped just short of defeating Hitler and been like, oh, hey, while you're still alive, yeah, you want a few $1 billion? It's asinine. I hope I'm using that word correctly. It's fucking asinine. Also, he I was gonna say, he also, like, he's always so all over the place. You know, he's like, we're gonna do this, then we're gonna do that. Yeah. It's like, pick a thing and finish it. But on the other hand, maybe the problem isn't that they're not finishing it. Maybe it's that, like many people say, they just can't. It's just not possible to completely eradicate these terrorist groups. Because we killed our leaders, and rah, rah, and years later, they're fucking back again. Like, what the hell? At this point, I'm aware I'm getting repetitive with this video, but I am disappointed, but at the same time, sorry, with the plane, it's way too loud for you guys to hear me, so sorry about that. Why am I sorry about that? It's not my fault, the plane. You know, like, I don't know. I guess I don't have much else to say about this, but, yeah, it's weird, you know, it's upsetting. Anyway, that's about all I have to say for that. Thanks for listening, for watching, and if you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.